assess the level of political participation, the public participation and political opposition that's existing in the UAE?
Of course, again, you cannot compare to the level of democratic participation in here or in other countries. But I think, unlike Saudi Arabia, it is moving, it is becoming more participative. I mean, the degree of people's participation. Probably because UAE and its traditional monarchy are not really that concerned with other matters. I mean, Saudi Arabia have many things to balance. You know, in the Saud family is so entrenched in Saudi Arabia. Besides, there are, I would say, less opposition in UAE rather compared to Saudi Arabia. And that if there are oppositions that are working within the UAE political system, unlike in Saudi Arabia. That's why they are quite comfortable of broadening the political space, including their readiness to allow opposition to work, if there will be opposition. But I don't know the kind of opposition in UAE, unlike maybe opposition in say in terms of political party or Islamic movements in Jordan or in Syria, where they are really a force to be reckoned with, unlike UAE. They are working within the political setup of the UAE government. So it would not, I think it would not pose a problem to the UAE. In the same manner, in fact, I think UAE would be a bit open to a very active political opposition. The fact that they're opening up, the assembly to be composed of elected and appointed, and I don't know if this assembly would pave the way in the formation of some sort of political parties. We do not know. My feeling is, I think UAE is more concerned with developing the economy. That is their primary concern. Then social services, education, etc. Then of course I think securing the national security. But I think even the national security is not much a problem because Israel is very far and there are no militants inside UAE, so it's not really a serious concern. So I think the fundamental concern of the government of UAE is more economic.
For both the KSA and the UAE, maybe in the long term, do you see that maybe the monarchies will be dismantled for a democracy or a more West?
Well, I don't know. It's difficult to predict. We don't know. The problem with political science is it is a discipline that relies on possibility. We are not like Madame Owing. We have a crystal ball. Tomorrow you will be like, no. But I think looking at the trend in the way Saudi Arabia and UAE were able to weld together the demands of securing their tradition and culture, and at the same time working an arrangement with the necessities of modern times, shows that these countries are quite innovative enough, and that they are working at a certain pace they believe appropriate to them. you cannot also totally open up today and suffer the consequence of tomorrow, or say close, you know, the political system today and also suffer the consequence tomorrow. So the balancing and the nuancing of their cultural identities with the needs of appreciating some elements of modernity, I think, are properly appropriated in these countries. But of course, there are bigger questions, bigger problems that the Middle East as a region is faced. The Middle East conflict is there since the early 20th century. And I was in every now and then they are affected by the Arab-Israeli war, the Lebanon war recently, the Arab-Palestinian, the Arab-Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But the fact that they are able to withstand these challenges and still able to develop their country and their economy shows that at least they must have probably evolved their own system of facing these challenges. So that's my as to a reading on whether or not this monarchy should be dismantled. I don't know. I mean, what will be the alternative, say, for instance, to Saudi Arabia's monarchy? Imagine if you have a government under Bin Laden, for instance. What will happen to the war? That will probably trigger a third world war. He sits in the sea of oil, and therefore he has access to resources and buy arms. That will happen to the Middle East. So we have to recognize the cultural nuances of each country in its ability to, you know, weld together some of these problems and challenges in the way they are able to address their own problems. Okay?
That is the answer. Thank you very much. Thanks so much for your time.